the year 1562 AD, 1000 Shimazu Yari Ashigaru found themselves surrounded at the town called Tsukushi by an army of exactly double their size. At that time, the daimyo and the main army were away fighting in distant lands, and the war was never expected to be at the home front. But it was. 2,000 soldiers from Hanma sprung a surprise attack where the Shimazu least expected it. Of the 2,000 soldiers, 520 were highly trained samurai ready to bring honor and victory to their daimyo. But against all odds, the 1,000 Ashigaru didn't surrender, they didn't flee, but rather they fought. Why? Why did they face certain doom? Well, to explain that, we must start from the beginning. So, about a few days ago, my good friend TheRyanKing asked me if I wanted to do a co-op campaign in Shogun 2, and I said, why not? And man, was I glad we did. Shogun 2 has by far the greatest campaign experience in all of Total War, and when playing with a friend on Legendary, it's double as fun. So my friend Ryan wanted a challenge. He was going to play as Otomo, and I was going to take control of Shimazu. And together, we were going to turn all of Japan Christian.
Heathens who cling to the old ways will be compelled by the power of Christ.
Our first goal was to take control of our home island of Kyushu and expand from there. The battles were tough, but through the power of friendship and advanced European technology, thank you Portugal, we seized all of the island. But it wasn't without struggle. At one point, my original daimyo was slain and my capital was captured. The eldest son, who was next in line to become the future daimyo named Yoshihisha, witnessed his father being stabbed to death in battle and then was held hostage at his own home. And man, that really messed him up. But thankfully, there was this epic general who was also the commissioner of warfare named Tomokata, who captured back the capital and helped conquer all of the island. But we weren't the only factions growing. The nearby island of Shikoku was conquered by Clan Kikawa, and they even held territory in mainland Japan. So naturally, they became our bitter rivals. So, do you remember my main general named Tomokata? He was the one who took back the capital and avenged the late daimyo. Well, he fought in many battles and had an amazing army with tons of experience. So it would only be fitting for him to lead an invasion into mainland Japan and fight back Clan Kikawa. Ryan also had an amazing army with tons of experience and powerful guns, so together we invaded from the city of Buzin. And then we were overwhelmed and died. Well, alright, we didn't all die, but tragically General Tomokata and his experienced army died a warrior's death and sacrificed themselves so Ryan's army could return back to Buzin unharmed, and that sacrifice did not go in vain because the Ottoman army made it back to Buzin and held off many enemy counterattacks. The city of Buzin was like the Japanese Constantinople. It was insane. And after such an embarrassing defeat, just to pour salt into our wounds, faction Kagawa and their allies had the most annoying navy. It was literally like the Immortal Army. Every fleet that we destroyed, 2 more would appear. We won almost every naval battle, especially with Ryan's European warships. But it wasn't enough. And they crippled our trade, they destroyed our economy. It was clear we were losing this war. Hard times create hard men. And finally, the late daimyo's son, Yoshihisha, has come to age. Not only did he witness the death of his father, but also losing General Tomokata, who was like a second father to him, brought him over the edge. He wears his father's armor, the exact same armor that he died in, and he vowed to destroy Clan Kagawa and anyone who stood against him or his ally. He showed no mercy. So at this point of the campaign, Ryan and I had enough. We lost in mainland Japan, and we were being suffocated by Kagawa's navy, and we only had one choice to make. We were going to strike, just like how Alexander the Great dealt with the Gordian knot, with vicious, deadly force. My daimyo would travel to Bungo and build one of the most advanced armies Japan has ever seen. Thanks to Ryan's technology, Yoshihisha's army had a cannon, guns, and 5 samurai units. And the army was called Takehisha's Wrath, named after Yoshihisha's late father. The plan was to invade the island of Shikoku. Using Ryan's epic European naval ships, we knew nothing would interfere with our invasion, and it worked flawlessly. My army landed near Io and conquered the city soon after. Meanwhile, Ryan's army was still holding at the city of Busan to hold back any invasion force from mainland Japan. But to win a war, you need more than just armies. At that same time, Ryan had multiple missionaries who are traveling into mainland Japan to incite Christian revolts. And the mad lad did it. Multiple rebel armies sprung out of nowhere, and they even conquered a few territories. We turned the war around. Clan Kikawa grew weaker, their ships disappeared, and our economy grew stronger. It was clear we were becoming the most powerful alliance in all of Japan. But wait, there was another. On the other side of Japan, Clan Takeda was growing extremely powerful. They controlled nearly half of all of Japan and had multiple puppet states under their control. But it wasn't our strength that they were afraid of. It was our religion. Christianity was growing thanks to Otomo, and they wanted nothing to do with it. So it was official. Takeda declared war against us, but it wasn't Clan Takeda that was doing the fighting, but rather one of their puppet states. Hanma, the strongest puppet state of Takeda, sent a sneaky invasion force to the lightly defended Tsukushi. They snuck past Ryan's navy, and since our armies were focused on the invasion of Shikoku, which at this point Ryan had sent another army over to join me, we thought we were untouchable. We thought that the war would be fought away from home. We thought wrong. So here we are, 1,000 Ashagaru, outnumbered 2-1 at home. They never saw this coming, but at this point of the campaign, the city of Tsukushi was 90% Christian, and so were her warriors. Legend has it that before the battle, the garrison army prayed to God to shield them from their enemies, and when they finished, the clouds cleared over the city, and light shined down on the warriors. Now, is this story true? I don't know. But what I do know is what happened next. Hanma divided their forces into two, attacking the west and east side of the city. Their main force, located on the west, was led by General Hanma Lahira. It consisted of both samurai and Ashagaru. General Lahira did not hesitate the attack. Knowing that the Shimazu defenders had no archers, they had nothing to fear and marched directly towards the walls. Now, on Shimazu's side, they did not have a proper general. They relied on an elder samurai named Kane Fumi to lead the defense. He maneuvered all of his troops over to the west side of the fortification because he was trying to avoid unnecessary archer casualties. And by doing so, that's going to force the main army to climb the walls to begin the attack. And that's exactly what happened. Expecting an easy victory, Hanma's army began to climb the walls of Tsukushi. And that was the exact moment when Kane Fumi gave the order to charge when most of the attacking units were still climbing the wall. Along with the 1,000 Ashigaru, there were 60 samurai retainers. Their pure will and presence on the battlefield kept the Ashigaru's spirits high, and so they fought on. At this point of the siege battle, Hanma's forces on the east began to climb the walls. Time was running out. The enemy's eastern attack was closing in behind them. Kane Fumi and his unit of Ashigaru were the final hope for holding the rear. And in epic fashion, the samurai retainers held the right flank alone so a unit of Ashigaru could help bolster the left. The enemy forces on the left flank on the western wall began to break. Out of pure frustration, General Lihira and his unit dismounted their horses and joined the battle. With most of the western wall defended, more and more units of Ashigaru turned their attention over to the east side. It was at this point that General Lihira climbed the walls and was now inside the fort. Samurai Kane Fumi gave the order to swarm and attack to eliminate him and his unit. But during all the chaos, that is when we found him. A lone Ashigaru, who is the last of his unit. His friends, his brothers, his fellow Shimazu warriors have died an honorable death, but he asks why. Why me? Why am I still alive? As he stood and watched the battle in shock. The east flank was cleared. All remaining units rallied back to the west wall because the enemy samurai bows were charging in to try to save their general. With the enemy general facing overwhelming odds, he was slain on the battlefield. But even after killing the enemy general, the odds of winning were low, and now they have to face the remaining bow samurai. The attacking bow samurai began the charge, and the Shimazu warriors were there to meet them. And that is when the lone Ashigaru found his strength and joined the charge. He fell that day, along with his entire unit. But through his bravery and the bravery of his brothers in arms, the 1,000 Ashigaru held against impossible odds. That battle was heard all around Japan, and the Christian warriors of Tsukushi inspired Daimyo Yoshihisa so much that he converted to Christianity and made the religion the official religion of his clan. And that is where we currently are in this epic co-op campaign. I really cannot stress enough the beauty and the sandbox and the storytelling potential that all these older Total War campaigns have. It really is astonishing, and it makes you want to come back and play a new campaign and experience a new story. Let's hope that in one day in the near future, we will get another great Total War like Shogun 2. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time on the battlefield.